People, they say, I bought this one for ownership. I buy this one for ownership. I buy this house for ownership. I say, there is no ownership. You are just leasing. You don't own anything. Your house you live, you doesn't own that. Because you are only leasing, you are renting. Once the angel of death will take your soul, you cannot live anymore. They will bring you in the grave. They will bury you in the grave. So where is your ownership now? Al-Qari'ah, Yawm al-Qiyamah, Yawma yub'athun, the day of raising of the dead. Yawm al-Hashr, the day of gathering. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is emphasizing in the Quran that there is a day coming for which we should prepare. A great day. A great day when the people will be gathered together. Not just a one nation or one generation, but all the nations and all the generations. The billions and the billions of people will be gathered together, and they cannot move on to the next stage, which is either the hellfire or paradise, until they give their judgment, until they will be accounted for. Even it's called in the Quran, the day of the judgment is Yawmul Hisab, the day of accountability. Yesterday I was listening the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad, that he said that if a person die in the way of Allah, martyred, shaheed, and if he die again shaheed 2 times, still he cannot smell paradise if he has the account of the people, if he cannot pay the account of the people. That's how important is the accountability in Islam. 1 cent will be accounted on the day of judgment. 1 inch of land will be accounted on the day of judgment. Even the smallest thing, it will be accounted on the day of judgment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning again and again and again in the Quran that you have to prepare for that day. Because that day will be the day of result. This life is a temporary life which can end any moment of our life. And we are here only for one purpose, to give examination to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is testing us. Everything on the day of judgment depends upon this life. If we make Allah happy, we follow His commands and the way of the prophets, then we are successful. But if we are just make the mission of our life to make money or to gain the material things of the life, and we die, then we are losers. The purpose of our life is to make Allah happy. Even if you earn money according to the law of Allah, according to the command of Allah, not cheating and not lying and not swindling, but honestly earning money, and our reason that we will use this money for ourselves and our families and our relatives and our neighbors and the poor people in the world, regardless if they are Muslims or not Muslims. We want to help people with this halal income. Then that earning of halal income will become ibadah, will become a way of success for us. People are worrying if they lost something in the life, if they lost the wealth, sometimes they give away their life. They make suicide, forgetting that the suicide is not a solution, because the problem in this world is temporary, because this world is temporary. And the problem in the hereafter is permanent, because hereafter, the akhirah, the next life is permanent also. So the problem, the luxury here in this life is temporary, and the hardship here in this life is also temporary. A person who lives a luxurious life or a person who lives the most hardship life, both will be end on. They will not have a permanent luxury, nor they will have a permanent of hardship. Everything is temporary here. We are worried about this life, which is a temporary life. The people fear for the poverty, they fear for the hardship, they fear for the problems, they fear for their lives. But nobody will live here forever. How much more you fear for your life, you will still get the death. How much more you fear for the hardship, you still can get hardship. How much more you fear for the poverty, Allah can make you poor. The people are, sometimes the rich people, they get angry to the poor people. They think them like sickness for them. They don't like to talk to them. They say, get out, I don't like to help you. But they don't know that if Allah will angry, then Allah will make him rich, then Allah will make you poor. Not just in the next life. Here right now, Allah can change everything. You are the rich and that he is a poor and you look him down. But tomorrow you wake up, he become rich and you become poor. Because Allah doesn't like the arrogance. Allah doesn't like the pride. Allah doesn't like people who look down other people. We need to think about our next life. How long is the next life? How long? The next life is forever. Next life is forever. No ending. For millions of years, it will never end. Billions of years, it will never end. So we have no time limit for our next life. Because Day of Judgment, Allah will give the death. Allah will give death to the death. The maut will be killed. So nobody will die anymore. We have a first life and we have a last life. The next life is forever. So it's very important for us that I want to follow the commands of Allah because I want my next life to be successful. Why Allah make the maut, the death and the life? Allah said in the Quran, Alladhi khalaqal mauta wal hayata liyabluwakum ayyukum ahsanu amala. He who make the death and the life to test you, who among you is going to do the best actions, best work. We don't need to run about the money or the talent or the fashion or the clothes or the shoes or the fame, the popularity. No. We need to work, we need to run, we need to make competition. I want to become more righteous. I want to become more fearful to Allah. I want to pray more than others. I want to fast more than others. I want to make more and more good deeds than the others because that's my real target. If your target is I want to make more money than others, so example, you successful now because everybody want to become rich. Everybody want to become rich than others. The most of the people in the world, they want to become rich than others. But not everybody get rich. The most of the people in the world are poor. Only few people are rich. Very small minority, they are considered as rich people. So many people, they want to become richer than others, but they are not successful. But example, if they become richest or they become richer, for example, the richest man in the world, like the Amazon owner, $150 billion, what will happen if he die? If he die tonight, where his money goes? The Bill Gates, maybe $86 billion. But if the Bill Gates die, what will happen to his money? He don't even own $1. Not even $1 will put in his grave. Okay, bring this $1 for you. Not even $1 he owns. So why to make a competition in the things which is not going to live with you forever? But better to make the competition in the things that your good deeds, your iman, your amal, your actions, your good actions, which can live with you forever. You're praying, you're fasting, you're making halal business is also a very good action. Speaking the truth is a very big action. Honoring your promise is a great action. Be honest is a great action. Not to cheat people is a great action. So that is the one we have to look after. These things we need to get earned as our wealth. If a person has a $100 billion, he worked hard all his life and he was able to reach $100 billion. He called to the bank and he asked, how much my money in my account? And the bank manager said, you have a $100 billion in your account. And now this man thinks, I'm a successful man. After the 5 minutes, when he called to the bank that he has a $100 billion in his account, after 5 minutes, he died. What happened to his $100 billion? Nothing happened to his $100 billion. If he were able to give this money in the way of Allah, helping to the poor, then that money was with him in the day of judgment. But when he died, this $100 billion, he doesn't own even $1 anymore. It is owned by his children, by his wives, with his mother, his father, his brothers, his sisters. He don't own anything anymore. Zero ownership now. Even his houses, his clothes, his shoes, his cars, his cell phone, he don't own anything. He left behind everything. This is the one he worked hard all his life, but when he died, he owns nothing. Zero ownership. People, they say, I bought this one for ownership. I buy this one for ownership. I buy this house for ownership. I said, there is no ownership. You are just leasing. You don't own anything. Your house you live, you doesn't own that. Because you are only leasing, you are renting. Once the angel of death will take your soul, you cannot live anymore. They will bring you in the grave. They will bury you in the grave. So where is your ownership now? If your ownership, you should bury it inside your house. But you are not owner of that house. You are owner only as long as you are alive. So what is important? The person should think for the next life.